We are writing our own life story every day, and yet we don't think about it. Who do we want to be?
See, with powerlifting, I think one of the reasons why I didn't love it right away was because I felt like it was too easy.
And that's when it comes surreal. Like, I knew what I wanted and I achieved it.
Focus on that feeling of how will it feel to achieve my goal, and that creates a pretty strong bond.
How many of you guys go to the gym, are athletes, play a sport, play within a team? This video is for you. It's about how to be the best at a sport. We take leading sports psychologists, world champions, strongest men from around the world on how to become the best at a sport. Today's video is sponsored by Mulliganbrothers.com, the best motivational clothing brand in the world, where athletes can now get the hardest worker in the room workout gear and so much more. And also the new journal is available for the end of the year, so you can plan 2023 the way it is supposed to be. But before that, let's jump into this video of how you guys can become the best athletes that you can be, whether it's from being in the gym, bodybuilding, powerlifting, or maybe you want to be the best in your sport. This is the video for you. Let's dive into it.
Did you have early influence? Like, can you look back now and go, like, these people, this situation influenced who I am today, like my mindset?
Yeah, definitely. I don't remember a time in my life where I remember thinking about following a path or being like the rest or being normal. And I just always felt like I had a chip on my shoulder. You know, like I had to prove to them that I could do these things, that I didn't have to follow the crowd. I really enjoy the challenge. I realized from a young age that the moments where I felt the happiest were the moments where I was suffering the most. So that just kind of became part of my life motto. Like, anytime that I'm too comfortable, something needs to change, and I need to chase something that's really, really difficult.
If you can't visualize yourself achieving your goals, then you'll never achieve your goals. You know, everything starts in the mind. Like, if you have to believe truly in your heart that you will achieve what you want to do, whether that's, you know, achieving the grades you want to in school, or getting to a certain level in business, or closing a deal that brings an X amount of money. If you don't believe it's going to happen, if you can't visualize that process and what it actually feels like as well, which is something that I did quite a lot, is when I'm using imagery in my mind, I'll actually see myself there competing or achieving my goal, but also focus on that feeling of how will it feel to achieve my goal, and that creates a pretty strong bond.
I gave a talk some years ago when Adam was younger about attitudes to training, and I said there's various types of attitudes to training. There's the just turn up. It's training tonight, I'll just turn up. Athletes will turn up to compete. They put a bit more effort in. They try to be the best amongst their group. Then there's the athletes who train to win. They train every day, every session, so that they win on match night. And then there are just those very few players who train to dominate. They train so hard that winning is inevitable on race night. And Adam said, that clicked with me. I decided I was going to train to dominate.
So the pain, does, you know, going through the rounds, does that eventually start to seep back in?
Like I said, I don't feel anything in there. Becoming UK #1, sort of, I hit it off from there. I think it's basically just like scouting, you know. Talk of the town, who's the talk of the town in the UK? And at that time, it was me and Liam Harrison. He's signed to One Championship. I got signed like 3 years ago to One Championship, and I had my debut. The knockout that I had on there, it just went through the roof. Like, social media went crazy. I thought my trainer was lying to me, because I remember before I messaged One Championship saying, great show, I would love to be a part of it one day. Didn't get back to me. So when I won the world title now, I went back onto our chat on One Championship, and I looked at that message, and that's when it comes surreal. Like, I knew what I wanted and I achieved it.
Anytime that I tried something that was really difficult, and again, that I had the talent, skill, aptitude, and passion to develop into that, that's something that I always leaned into. See, with powerlifting, I think one of the reasons why I didn't love it right away was because I felt like it was too easy. You know, it was like every week I'm getting stronger, and now what? What kept me in there was being the best at something. And I didn't necessarily enjoy the sport per se, but I loved being the best at something and winning competitions and getting recognized. Everybody does. That's what I love the most about boxing, is just how brutally difficult it is and how challenging it's been to develop into that sport.
You know, that link between the two is getting an emotional link to achieving your goal is hugely important. I think that's what drives people, you know, and if people want to achieve their goals, whatever it may be, if it's a sporting goal or whatever, then the first step is believing it themselves and in imagining themselves achieving their goal.
So yeah, I mean, we talk about it a lot, like visualization. I don't know if you would use that terminology, but like we really believe in almost like, obviously there's this big thing about winning World's Strongest Man. In your head, have you held the trophy yet? Have you been to that place yet?
Yes, yeah. So in my head, I've seen myself on top of that podium.
Each person has two selves, their real self and their performer self. And my real self is different from what you're hearing now. This is my performer self in action. My real self is quite shy, quite quiet, quite introverted.
I think it was the feeling of attaining a really difficult goal, like the feeling that you get after going through hardship and then being able to come out on top. That just felt so good. I remember like one of my biggest struggles growing up was with my anxiety and panic attacks, and figuring out a way to continue playing soccer at the highest level, dealing with that. So there would be trips, you know, to the inside of the country, and I would have to figure out a way, and I didn't know what was going on with me, right? So I'd have to figure out a way to gain control over my mind and still go and perform. And I think like being able to do that, going through those feelings of absolute terror and being able to still perform and winning championships and earning you know, titles like most valuable player of the year, stuff like that. Just the feeling of being able to overcome, come out on top, and then being recognized, I kind of became addicted to that feeling.
A lot of people are unclear what they want from life. They don't sit down and think through. We are writing our own life story every day, and yet we don't think about it. Who do we want to be? Where do we want to live? What life do we want to lead? When we've finished our life, come to the end of our life and look back, what do we want to say that we've done? So, what do you want is a very powerful question. And then, if an athlete says, I want to be the best, Bill, fine. How badly do you want it? Because you've got to pay a price to be the best. The best pay a big price. You've got to work harder, you've got to commit more, you've got to take more responsibility, you've got to deal with more ups and downs. And if we can deal with that question, how much are you willing to suffer? Because I work with gold medal champions and they suffer every day. They work enormously hard. They sacrifice enormous things in order to get that success. The boundary or line revolves around physical and mental well-being. So I would be very careful not to take somebody to the state where they were injuring themselves mentally or physically, where obsession with a goal overcame common sense, understanding.
Thank you so much to the sports psychologists and athletes involved in this video. For me, the discipline of working out and going to the gym and pushing your body to a point where your mind is asking you to stop, that is the training that I want to do. I was pursuing to be a professional athlete in my younger days. I wanted to be a professional basketball player, and then I moved into filmmaking, entrepreneurship and business. And those training principles that I had back then, I still use today. I still hit the gym as hard as possibly can. I still do endurance things that I do not want to do. I work out when I don't want to work out. I lift heavy stuff. That, and I try and get better every single day, that is what leads me to have a stronger, a sharper mind for entrepreneurship, business and filmmaking. And for me, you don't have to be pursuing a professional sport just to take these lessons that we have learned today and apply them to your day-to-day life. Be healthy and strong in your physical body, and it will lead to a strong and physical and healthy mind. Guys, thank you for watching. Go follow me on Instagram at Jordan Mulligan. You can see me get my training on if you want to. I am going for some big lifts soon as well, so you can come and follow me along for the journey. And also I want to say a massive thank you to Mulliganbrothers.com, where your support has made all of this possible. I don't know why I showed you the trees. These trees were already here. I mean, the whole production that we have going and traveling around the world to film these was made possible with Mulliganbrothers.com. We have noticed that the journals are really selling quite fast right now for the new year. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get more journals in for the new year for 2023. So once they are gone, they are gone. So you can get the Not a Journal with the link in the description and prepare for 2023 the same way I do with my journal. The journal was designed by myself, and it is done in a way that I think is a no bullshit way of getting stuff done. It's about ticking stuff off the list. It's about taking souls, as Goggins would say, every single day with discipline and direction. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's hit the notification bell as well. We have so much more new content coming out with some huge creators and motivational speakers. So hit the notification bell so you are getting notified of when they come out. And also, if you haven't already, I beg you, please hit the subscribe button. I think we have like 5% at the moment of you guys are subscribed. 95% of you guys just need to smash that subscribe button and come say hello. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go follow me on Instagram. Have a blessed and productive day. And more importantly, the movement that we are all trying to do, from you to me, to Neve behind the camera, to all my brothers involved in this, inspire some change. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.